Welcome to the English Out Loud podcast, a podcast where I give you tips on enhancing your spoken English, on speaking a little clearer, tips on, well, just how you can have people stop asking you, where do you come from? Doesn't that question get a little bit annoying? You ain't from around here, where do you come from? Well, you know what? If you follow my tips, that question will not be asked so frequently. Well, today I'd like to start things out with a quick little joke that you can play on your American friends, any English-speaking friends. This is actually, it's a bit of a silly one, but have fun with it. Now, you may have heard this before, but check it out. So, if you say, how do you spell yes? People will say, Y-E-S. And so, what does E-Y-E-S spell? And people will usually say E-S. E-Y-E-S. E-S. Of course not. E-Y-E-S spells eyes. Eyes. But Americans will so often, they won't think about it. They'll think Y-E-S spells yes, so E-Y-E-S spells E-S. Nope, spells eyes. Isn't that funny? Try it. Honestly, if you got any coworkers, if you got any friends, give it a shot. It's a fun one. Well, today I am not going to take too much of your time. I just want to give you a couple of tips on a couple of words. A handful of words that I notice people overpronounce. I notice that you may be pronouncing these a little too clearly. And pronouncing it so clearly sounds a little awkward, a little kind of impedes on your overall speech. Now, these are words with a silent vowel. This vowel is what we would call a schwa. Now, the schwa, we're not going to get too in depth with it today, but essentially a schwa is an unstressed sound in English. And as time passes in English, it becomes so unstressed that eventually it just disappears altogether. For example, you ever notice Americans say America, America? They don't even bother saying America. They'll just say America. That's because America starts with a schwa, and they've just reduced the stress from that so many times that now these people will just say America. I would not suggest saying America. It doesn't sound pretty. But getting the schwa in the beginning, America, America. Oh, that's a pretty sounding word, isn't it? Let's look, though, at words that the schwa has totally disappeared from, and that pronouncing the actual letter will sound a little bit funny. The first word I want to consider is the word chocolate. Chocolate. A chocolate bar. Chocolate milkshake. Chocolate ice cream. Chocolate. Notice I'm not saying chocolate. I'm not adding that extra O. I'm just saying chocolate. Chocolate. Another word that I'd like you to consider is the word family. Family. Now, first off, that am sound in the F-A-M, okay, we'll talk about that another time. That's a whole other can of worms to open. And it's a tricky one, and it's going to take a little more explanation. We'll get to that another time. But for today, notice in the word family, I'm not pronouncing the I. I'm not saying family or family, but rather family. 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 Americans have totally dropped the I in pronunciation from that word simply because it's such a common word and we pronounce it so fast, family, family, that there's no time for the schwa. There's no time to say family. Family. Another one to consider here. Camera. 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 Again, I'm dropping the E from this word. Camera. I'm not saying camera, but a real quick, real short camera. Keep that one in mind. Next time you are looking at the camera on your phone, or the next time you go into a Zoom call and you got to say, I'm waiting for my camera to activate. Camera. You don't want to say camera, or camera, but rather camera, as if the E is gone. The next word to consider is going to be Florida. Florida. How was your trip to Florida? Notice I'm not saying Florida or Florida, but rather Florida. Older generations will say it like Florida, Florida, and that's totally fine. But the fact is, younger generations don't say it like that. And chances are in the future it's not going to be said like that. So you want to update your English. We're not here to speak how old people speak. We're here to speak how the young and vibrant folk of this world speak. So, Florida. Florida. Real quick. Florida. Another word to consider here with this schwa that has gone silent is a bit of a tricky one. Comfortable. Comfortable. Now, I want to point out the spelling of this word. Comfortable. However, I pronounce it as if it's comfter. Comfter. I take the F, and then I go straight to the T, and then I rearrange the letters. I don't say comfortable. 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 You comfortable? I'm comfortable. Look at these people. They're not looking too comfortable right now. Or, I rented a car, we drove for hours, the seats were not comfortable. Comfortable. Is it a comfortable temperature in here? Comfortable? So, keep an ear open for that. Comfortable. We are rearranging those letters. Just slightly. Just slightly. So let's review what we got so far. We got chocolate, where we take out the O. Chocolate. Family. We're dropping the I. Family. Camera. Dropping the E. Camera. Florida. Dropping the I as well. Florida. Comfortable. Rearranging the letters and dropping an O. Comfortable. Comfortable. Dropping the O in the middle. I'm going to give you one more word here. One more bonus word. The word February. Feb-you-wary. Do you hear that? There's an R in there, isn't there? Shouldn't there be? An R after the B. Guess what? I don't pronounce that R. For me, that's a silent R. Feb-you-wary. February. February. Keep this in mind. I don't say February. I hear a lot of people who speak English as a second language will stretch it out a little bit and they'll add this R, February. And you are totally correct according to the spelling. And chances are you're correct according to English 100 or 200 years ago. But in this day and age, we drop that first R and we say just February. 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 All right, well, this just about brings us to wrap things up for today because I got stuff to do. I got things to get to. But I mean, I hope you enjoyed our quick little chat today. Nothing too long, nothing too intense. And I'd like to remind you that if you're using the Spotify app, there's a wonderful button that says subscribe. When you subscribe, then you get updated with new episodes whenever they come out. And I mean, hey, this is episode number 30. This is episode number 30. We've come a long way so far, and it's only 30 episodes deep. I plan on tripling this, quadrupling this before the end of the year. If we follow this schedule that we've all agreed on, every Tuesday and every Thursday I'll release an episode. That is the schedule that's been agreed upon. Then by April, the middle of April, I will be at episode number 50. So many good things to come. Keep listening on in. And hey, if you'd like a little more information about the schwa or about any of these things, you know, if you want to reach out to me, I've set up an Instagram account, en.outloud. You can find me there. On Instagram, I am making a couple posts a day just about English tips, advanced speech tips, the things that are tricky to listen for, but that if you keep an ear open for, you'll pick up on in no time. So check me out, En Out Loud. Many good things to come on Instagram. Facebook too, same name, En.outloud. Send me a DM. I'll get back to you with, an answer. Get back to you with an answer. You send me a message. I've got to get going for today. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for your time. And keep an eye out for those words. Practice them. I picked 6 words that if you focus, you can start to work into your daily life. No problem. So have a wonderful day. Watch out for those words. Chocolate, family, camera, Florida, comfortable, February. And we'll pick things up from there on Thursday. Well, have a good one.